Hello there. Figured I'd get a little video of this before I actually get shipped out. Uh, Basically, it's a Tamiya Hornet with a whole lot of Team Associated Rc10 stuff crammed into it, like all of it. And just for reference point, like I'm just trying to get this out there just to help people out because this is a very simple mod that helps, well, the front end drastically. Since, well, I've set this up on another Tamiya Grasshopper I had with the Rc10 suspension. It works awesome if my camera will stay focused. Basically, we have stock team associated parts. I flipped the A-arms around, well, forward. I kept the caster rolled back, and sorry, that's a message. The key part with these is, if the camera will focus, inside there by where my finger is pointing is a little, basically it's, I don't even know if it's a nut that has threads come off of it. You'll generally find these on the back of computers that are old or broken or whatnot. All they do is they unscrew out and you've got a nut with a thread, just like I said. And they thread into a team associated shock perfectly, and it gives you enough space that you can lock onto the bottom side of the shock support or shock mount, and then just put a little nut on top. It looks awesome and it works amazing. Like, that's on the ground. Also, you can adjust, one key thing here is I'm going off of the front bumper mount. You can adjust the up or down to adjust your camber gain, which I'll show you. Like, it's slightly towed out because I don't have bearings in the front wheels, but see? Also, this is a stock bumper. I just trimmed off the side corner tabs because where they would be, it would hit the wheel. But once again, I don't understand why my camera is trying to stay out of focus. How do I go from here? Everything's adjustable on this. You can adjust your camber, your toe, just like normal on, well, except you can't adjust your toe on stock one of these Hornets. I don't really want to take the buy off just for sake. It'd be really difficult with one hand, but we can see everything that's going on here. I use stock Team Associated steering servo mounts, a Kimbrough steering servo. We'll get a shot of that soon. Stock Team or Team Tamiya or a Tamiya MSC I had sitting around. Basically JR servos for both options, a JRKO Propo receiver I had sitting around. Never found a heatsink cover for that. Stock Team basically Team Associated hardware used throughout except for in a few select spots, but we'll get to that in a moment. I used the stock Tamiya Grasshopper if my camera will focus. There we go. Tamiya Grasshopper rear axle mounts, just because it doesn't need anything else to happen back here because it does nothing, as my finger is proving behind it. All it has to do is support the side nerf guards. And then we get to the crazier part of, I used a very destroyed Team Associated chassis and just made it where it just bolted the entire back end on, except it was flipping the transmission and shock mounts technically, or where the shock tower used to be. Other than that, it's stock suspension, and part of why this has been for sale is it's going to take me forever to get around to painting this, and also this needs one more shock. But I made sure they would fit beneath the stock body. Nothing on this body is trimmed uniquely for this RC. It just all fits together beautifully. As we can see, there is a stock Tamiya Hornet shock. It does do its job well. It's just too soft of a spring. And I don't know what these tires are from, but they look awesome because when you look at it, it still looks like a Tamiya Hornet, but it's not. As we get further into it, it's this old school Team Associated 6-gear transmission with a stock Team Associated motor and stock suspension, basically. Let me get to holding this thing upside down. We'll find a way to safely sit on the side. There we go. We'll get a better shot for you. This is what I was getting to with the front end, is I made this with just a sheet of aluminum. You can make it out of a license plate like I did, and just drill the holes appropriately, and it correlates to the AR mounts, the old 1, 2, 3 basically points where the underside of the chassis will kind of support or sandwich together to hold the A-arms on the stock Hornet. And we'll get a shot of the steering for a moment before we get to the back, if the camera will focus. I don't know why we're having issues with that today. If you can see the point of which the steering rod is at, we can understand it's not really hitting anything. It's still floating relatively where the stock steering was, even having pushed the front end roughly, I would say roughly 3/4 of an inch forward. I'd never measured that with a stock one. From the back, this is something I never got to with this project, was I was going to make an aluminum tray that snapped or slid in to the stock location there, and then I would use two team associated mounts right here and here that the tray would come down and then clip onto with 2 bobby pins right there and there. Or there, sorry, camera location's looking weird. Anyways, that was one thing I never got to, so I just took a broken one I had, trimmed it to fit for right now. And this is where I was talking about with I had a really destroyed team associated chassis that I just trimmed down with a Dremel and such and got to fit everything on for the back end. But this is something that, as long as you have enough rough parts, you can make something really cool from both of these. If my camera will focus again, I don't know why we're having these issues today. Anyways, just to get a clear view, that's where the old chassis used to be. I dremeled it out. I could have done a nicer job, but I never really got to the stage of painting this back to a decent orange just to cover up the scratches. But we can try and get a few different shots to help everyone out if you so want to, well, build one of these. Now we'll see the space for the shock, and I think that covers about everything. There we go. Just set on that. The suspension's too weak to support the thing. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you next time.